Okay, so hello. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Thank you so much for watching my Patreon channel. This is a tarot reading for Aries for the month of April. At the top of April, this is an astrology spread. At the top of April, we just got out of the full moon in Libra, which will be in the 4th house for Taurus ascendant. Wait, 5th house. Okay, like the things to be more in line. 6th house. Okay, good. So the first thing we're going to do is invoke an angel for our reading from the 72 angel card deck. Can we get some autofocus from the Canon camera? There we go. Yes, this is the 72 angel card deck. How are you guys feeling? In April, we have the Sun, Mercury, and Uranus in Aries, which is in the 12th house for you guys. And in the 11th house, we have Chiron and Neptune. And Neptune is at home in Pisces for you. And your 11th house is about groups, revolution, change. So there's going to be changes in your dreamscape. Maybe your dreams were more like fantasies, and maybe you're looking at the ways that, you know, you're looking at the reality of where you're actually hurting, and maybe you don't feel like you fit in anywhere right now. And it's not because you don't fit in. It's because the universe is bringing attention to those wounds within you. And in your 9th house, in Capricorn, you have Saturn, Mars, and Pluto. And I love the Mars energy because the Mars energy is very earthy, and it's about asking for what you want. And then the Saturn energy is very slow moving. It's going to be in that sector of your chart for like the next 2 years, 2.5 years maybe. And it's asking you to go for your growth. Get your life in order. And since this is in your 9th house sector, it's about you taking the right direction when it comes to your higher education, when it comes to your path, and maybe even traveling and doing things that you've always wanted to do in that area of your life, but you've been holding yourself back. And so now Saturn is going to move everything out of your way so that you can actually have the life that you want. And then you have Pluto, making sure that you delve in deep into anything that will tell you that you can't do it. You're probably doing positive affirmations. You're probably looking at flights to places you want to go. Or you're probably really making moves mentally, spiritually, and emotionally to travel to places within yourself. But since we have Mars here, I'm thinking that it's a physical thing. You could actually be traveling soon. And in the 7th house, which is in opposition to your to your 1st house, we have Jupiter here. And so with Scorpio and Jupiter in the 7th house, I see some like fiery, passionate, healing, soulmate love. Okay? And Jupiter is about expansion. Jupiter is about expanding that love, that healing, that hard work you've been doing on yourself. It's going to attract the right mate for you. And it's going to be good, and it's going to be juicy. And I'm excited for you. And you have Venus in your first house, Taurus, and Venus is at home here. So you're feeling like super good about yourself and about pampering yourself. I see somebody sitting down and enjoying their soft drink and watching TV, curled up in a blanket, and just being a homebody and being okay with that, like laying around in your flannels and just like enjoying that part of your identity while you have Venus here in Taurus right now. And then the North Node in Leo is going to bring home what exactly your purpose is within your, well, maybe the Divine Feminine has a purpose for you in this world or within your family, and you sharing your creativity with other people in a way that brings people together, brings unity to your family or to your home. You know, the North Node is going to definitely bring attention to your higher purpose and what you're here to evolve into right now. And since it's in Leo, I see that as being a lot of fun. A fun area to transform, so to speak. And so the angel that I pulled for us for this reading is Leha Aya. Leha Aya. And it's about obedience, Taurus, faithful servant, trust, and favor from superiors. Can we get some focus, please? Thank you. Loyalty, devotion, altruistic acts, obeys divine laws and the authority that represents them. Life of devotion to the service of an established order, peace, harmony, intelligence, at ease with ambiguity. Obedience without necessarily understanding. Understanding of divine justice. Upright, responsible, incorruptible. Accepts the rigors of one's destiny without protest. So Taurus, you guys are really getting into your divine purpose as a servant here for the divine mother and father of the universe. You're tapping into that side of yourself. This is what this angel means to me. Leha Aya. I'm going to invoke this angel right quick. Okay. And we're going to get into this reading. Okay. Leha Aya, we ask that you join our reading and you bless Taurus with the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to move through their life, through their career, through their identity, raise their level of understanding and consciousness, and help them to understand what their purpose and mission is that you have for them. Leha. Okay. Taurus, 2018. First house. Second house. Third house. Fourth house. Fifth house. Sixth house. Seventh house. Eighth house. Ninth house. 10th. 11th. 12. Make sure I did this. Okay. I'm going to tune into your general flavor. I feel like I'm missing something. That's what happened. This is supposed to be here. Okay. Okay. All right, so we have in your first house, which makes a lot of sense. In your first house, you have the Six of Cups reverse, which is a card about pleasure. It's about pleasure. And you also have Venus and Taurus as well. And when this card is reversed, it's saying that, okay, I understand that my childhood is over and it's time for me to maybe start adulting a little bit more. Because it's really good, it feels really good to be in this state where you're enjoying, maybe like old friends are popping up in your life, people that make you feel good, or people that make you feel like nostalgic about your life as a child. And Taurus in the first house, I can see being very comfortable in their own skin, and Taurus is slow to change, you know. And so I see maybe people coming in your life, there's people in your life that you allow to be able to tell you certain things that other people maybe can't tell you. You know, maybe somebody in your life is like, okay, boo, it's time for you to start growing up. It's time for you to start making some changes. And you're like, oh, okay. It may not be the most pleasurable thing for you to change, because your identity is you feel most comfortable in the past. You know, you feel most comfortable being nostalgic. That makes you feel good. That makes you feel safe. And so now you're moving into a space where, you know, okay, you're getting over that stage of your life. And you're ready to make a change. And when I look above you and I see the Wheel of Fortune in the 12th house in Aries with the Sun and Mercury and also Uranus, you know, I see that there are sudden changes happening in your life, and it's time for those changes to happen. It's fate. And when I see the Wheel of Fortune, I see, again, especially since it's in the 12th house, you have lots of past life issues coming into play. And these issues are going to have to do with you healing your childhood issues, your subconscious mind. And your subconscious mind is your body. So maybe it's time for you to unwind some stuck energies by focusing on the sensations that you feel in your body. And, you know, some people like to use yoga in order to do that. Some people like to go for a run to get in touch with their body. Some people will like to do meditation. You might be in the mood to start changing your body, changing your diet, and really focusing in on your higher self. I see intergalactic type changes though, like maybe even getting to know yourself in a whole new dimension, your avatar, your higher being, getting in contact with your spiritual guides. I see angels coming into play. You getting to know your spiritual family beyond this life. And with the Wheel of Fortune being in the 12th house, it's saying that it's time for that. Okay? And Mercury is, mind you, is going to be retrograde. And since it's hitting your 12th house, that means that you're definitely going to be going inside yourself, inward. It's going to be inward, lots of inward focus for you. And you might feel pressured to come to a conclusion since it's going to be Aries energy. Aries is like in the 12th house is like a spiritual warrior. And you're going to feel the call to evolve really strong. But I want to tell you that it's okay to take your time. Actually, the more you slow yourself down and just get into the process, like day by day, step by step, the less frustrating and painful it'll be for you. So let's move on to the second house, which is ruled by Taurus and Venus, and is right next door. We have the Emperor reversed in Cancer. And so when I see the Emperor, I see a man that is knowledgeable about what he's building, a leader, somebody that gets down to business, and that's here to build something that lasts. Not just in this life, but in many lives. He thinks generationally. He doesn't just think about himself. He thinks about his family. And so I'm seeing that, okay. All right, so Cancer is squaring Aquarius in the No, it's not squaring. Okay, it's trining your 10th house. So you have the Emperor reversed and the 10 of Wands working together in order to move along your career. Your values need to change. You're feeling overwhelmed because your values aren't lining up with where the universe is trying to get you to go as far as your public persona and your career goes. And what I mean by that is that since the Emperor is reversed in your second house, like I see someone that is acting out of frustration. Instead of leading by being a leader, when the Emperor is reversed, he's leading out of being domineering, out of being controlling. And it's somebody that you want to get away from, not somebody that you would like to, stay in relationship with. It's either somebody is bullying you, and since this is Cancer in the second house, somebody could be bullying you out of your resources, out of your values, telling you who you are, telling you what to do, telling you, you might have influences from these people in your life that it may be nostalgic for you to have these people around, but they may not have the energy that you need or the advice that you need in order to move forward. So you really need to listen to your spirit guides here. With this Wheel of Fortune in the 12th house, your spirit guides are telling you what direction to go in. And so you have this 12th house sextile your 10th house right now. And so and we have Wands here in your 10th house in Aquarius. And so you're reaching the end of a cycle of you've been working really hard to accomplish your goals, your spiritual goals, because the Wands are fire, and fire is about spirituality. Your spiritual goals and your career are intermixing, and you're feeling the pressure to evolve, and you're just about to break free. And that makes sense when you have all these energies sextiling your 10th house, and the universe is saying it's time. This is fate for you. Whatever is about to bust through, it's about to bust through whether you are ready or not in other areas of your life. Okay? And you also have Capricorn trine Taurus here. Yeah. Trine Capricorn, Venus trine Pluto, Saturn, and Mars. And that'll be a big help when it comes to you thinking about the opportunities that you really need to take. The 9th house actually prepares you for the 10th house issues. And in the 9th house, you have the 4 of Cups. And it's reversed. And the 4 of Cups upright is saying that this is someone who has lots of options and isn't really ready to pick one yet. And actually is pretty uninterested. But when it's reversed, it's saying that you're starting to pick something. You're starting to narrow it down what it actually is that you would like to do. And this is an emotional decision for you. This is in a concrete house. Like Capricorn is all about getting to work. And I see that you feel pressure to make a decision. You feel pressure to make a decision. So you're just kind of like, okay. But you've been taking your time at the same time because you know that whatever decisions that you make right now are going to have long-lasting effects for your future. So you have every right to take the time that you need in order to make the right decision for yourself. Okay. And another thing that I find interesting is that you have two tens opposing one another. You have the 10 of wands in your career sector, and you have the 10 of swords reversed in your home sector in the 4th house. And that is no coinky dink. You are reaching the end of a cycle when it comes to how you've been living your life. Like, these are major areas in your life. Your career and your home. And although they're opposing one another, it's kind of helping each other. It may seem like your whole world is falling apart right now, and the Wheel of Fortune just came back into my mind's eye. Your spirituality, your healing process is having a big effect on everything in your life, because the 12th house is trining your 4th house as well. So these issues that you're experiencing in your 12th house are affecting your home, your career. Baby girl and baby boy, you are growing up. And that's what this card was saying in Taurus. You are growing up. You're growing up. And you're growing up in every area of your life, in every way. And when I look at your relationship sector in the 7th house, I see bickering and fighting, but it's not in a bad way. You are coming into your own, and you have a new belief system. And when it comes to your relationships, you're fighting for ground to stand up for what you believe in. Everybody deserves to have their own voice in their relationships. And when major changes happen, the people around you just may be shocked. Like, who is this? What are you talking about? You never said that before. What do you mean? They may not agree with you, and they may not even be on your level right now, because when I see these 2 tens of completion, I see somebody that is kind of like ahead of their time. And people may not be able to understand you right now, but you're being very vocal in your relationships. And since this card is in Scorpio, I'm seeing that the information, the things that you're arguing about are really deep. It's like, and whether or not you want to share these things or not, because Scorpio is super secretive, it might be an inner battle for you to continue in these relationships without actually sharing your new information and the growth that you're sharing, that you have. And I see your adulting process is in conflict with your relationships. And, with Jupiter being in the in your 7th house sector in Scorpio, it's only going to expand. It's only going to expand even more. This Jupiterian energy is going to change your relationships and how you deal with your relationships forever. And I say kudos to you, because at least you're not in codependent relationships. When you see these wands, nobody's really striking each other. It's just that there's a difference of opinion. And sometimes you have to agree to disagree. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. It's like you'd rather be in that space than be a doormat. Okay? Okay, so in the... And Jupiter is sextiling your Pluto, Saturn, and Mars right now. So all these planets are like helping each other out. You taking a stand in your relationship is going to Okay. I don't know where we cut off, but I was saying that there's a relationship in your life that is abusive to you and your forward movement, and it's not helping you move on to what you really want in your life. Okay? That's something you need to be aware of and look out for. And in your 5th house, you have Virgo, and you have the 6 of Swords reversed. And you're going on a journey when it comes to your regimen, because Virgo is all about regimen and caring for others, but Virgos need to learn how to take care of themselves and move on. And so you're being asked to travel in this sector to take a journey for your health. And your health in the 5th house is all about your creativity. You'll feel the most healthiest if you figure out how to make your regimen fun every day. Like, if you're going to do yoga every day, instead of doing the same thing every day, try different types of yoga, try different types of workout. Try something new to put a spark into your life. And it looks like you're resisting that a little bit. But it's okay. It might be a bumpy road getting to the point to where you feel comfortable again. But right now, I can see in your life, it's all about your evolution. And in the 6th house, which is the house of health, you're looking out into the world and you're seeing like what the world has to offer you when it comes to balancing out your health. And you're not really quick to make a decision. You actually have 1 foot in and 1 foot out when it comes to making changes in your lifestyle. But go ahead and move forward. Move forward. This reading is telling you to move forward. It's going to be okay. You're moving into a new dimension. The wheel of fortune is turning in your favor. You need to trust. You need to garnish some trust in the universe. I'm going to pull a card from the Mayan Oracle deck to see what messages the universe has for you right now. And this is for Taurus. Taurus. Okay. And the card that came out for you is Resolution of Duality. I'm just going to put that down there while I read this for you. It's a lens. The qualities are resolving the perception of duality, mass consciousness, personal integration of dualities, of polarity, cooperative alliances, reframing of language that separates and limits. And reframing of language that separates and limits. So you're learning a new way of being. Now is the time for you to confront directly the illusion of separation and duality. Receiving this lens asks you to resolve your separate sense of identity, bringing awareness to the way you hold duality pairs such as good and bad, right and wrong, them and us. Such pairs support the very framework of our presently transforming third-dimensional reality. Duality is simply a perception. Duality pairs such as right and wrong exist simply as value judgments and cultural definition. In the collective trance, you have probably been taught to understand duality from the position of separation. Duality is the transformational playing field that is maintained only by the belief systems held in mass consciousness. As you personally integrate your inner polarities and transmute your limiting beliefs, your reality transforms. When enough personal realities are transformed, collective reality also shifts, revealing a greater reality of inseparable unity. Since we are literally transforming reality with the power of our thoughts, it is essential that we become aware of language that separates and limits, so that it can be reframed into language that unifies. In receiving this lens, you are being challenged to work with your belief systems and thoughts to see where they appear to limit you. Your very complexity and rigidity invite new processes that open you to simplicity, expansion, and change. You feel this energy working in any area of your life that has become too complicated or inflexible. Since your own personal issues are connected to mass consciousness, you transform. You contribute to the upliftment of the whole collective. You are the resolution of duality. And I did a reading for Aries yesterday, and they got the same card. Message. That's what the universe would like to tell you about that particular issue. That makes sense. It's like when you're healing yourself, when you're healing your 12th house issues, your Aries 12th house issues, you're not only healing yourself, you're healing me. You're healing the cat in Ukraine, the person that lives across the pond from you, the person that lives all the way around the world from you. I want to pull a chakra card for Taurus to see what chakra it is that you need to focus on for the month of April. Okay, and its card, it's the crown chakra. And it's card number 53. Journey. Your soul has come to this life, bringing with it wisdom and insight. Endless cycles of life begin and end while your soul journeys on. Separation, uniting, grief, bliss, gathering experiences. You are a cosmic traveler, searching for more and more of yourself. Don't ignore what your soul is longing for. In the blink of an eye, time will go by. And when I see all those planets for you in the 12th house, you've been longing for a change for a really long time. And although it's intense, it's completely flipping your life upside down. When I see those guys in the Ten of Wands and the Ten of Swords, they're really taking a beating. When your energy is just about to release and you're at the end of your cycle, it's kind of like being in a movie. And when things are wrapping up and things are coming to an end, everything may come to a head. And you may feel just completely overwhelmed, almost like giving up, you know. And the grief and the separation and the bliss and the reuniting and the end and beginnings and all the cycles that you're going through are real. You know, it's just kind of like, why am I going through this? This is a movie that I never asked to be involved in. Your relationships are topsy-turvy. And I'm going to pull some cards about these relationships. You have this Five of Wands here in the 7th house. And you have that Jupiter energy there. And the 3 extra cards that I pull have to do with this partnership that you're involved in. And so we're going to take a little deeper look at it. And I'm going to be using the Higher Love Soul Link Oracle cards. Okay, so the first card that came up was special knowledge and skills. So the relationship that you've been involved in has been detrimental in your process of getting to know who you are and changing your life as far as it brought you to a new level, you know. It brought you to a new level. And because of this relationship, you now have new opportunities. But this relationship is also materialistic. And it's a physical relationship, you know. It's an earthly relationship. And you guys may have gotten stuck in this realm of materialism. And now it's time for you to go into a new level of growth and a deeper understanding of life than that. And the new opportunities that you're going to be receiving from your special knowledge and skills are going to bring you to a new level of growth. But it's because of this relationship, though. And you've had a lot of achievement and success and joyful times in this relationship. So this relationship has not been like all bad. But right now it looks like you're going through a time of transformation. Yeah. And there's a bit of this relationship that is fantasy, wishful thinking, you know. There might be some destructive behaviors in this relationship and bonds that need to be broken. There needs to be a new way of being in this relationship. And it's hard to let this relationship go because it's comfortable for you. Just like it was saying in your first house with Venus and the 6th house, this relationship has been like a cornerstone in your life, and now it's time for you to grow up. And it may be like a soulmate relationship. It may be a twin flame relationship for you. Let's look. Taurus. And I'm saying that because you guys just may need to split apart so that you can grow, and you might get back together later. Yeah. Calling your soulmate here. This is a soulmate relationship. But this relationship is also a catalyst for you. There's no need to not appreciate this person and what they have to offer in your life. And this person, it might be a fire sign or a water sign. But they definitely mean a lot to you. And it might be painful for you to be fighting with them even. You really want to get along, but your soul is really calling for you to make a change. And what needs to happen is that you really need to get to know each other. You're not the same. You're not the same people you were when you first got into the relationship. You're changing, you're growing. And you're changing fast. Okay. And then I pulled deception. Deception popped out. And that just means like the wishful thinking card, that you may be thinking that this relationship is about marriage, or it's about something else other than growing up. This may be a relationship that has been a catalyst for you to grow up. But don't lead anybody on just so that you can feel safe and feel comfortable. And you can't get to know each other if you're going to wear a mask. You need to learn how to be transparent, and I feel like that's part of your spiritual growth here. Part of your spiritual growth is learning to, in this relationship, to let down your guard and really say how you really truly feel, and speak up about who you really are. Which is why you have that 5 of Wands in the 7th house. Okay? And I think we're going to end it here. I mean, I feel like I need to wrap it up with something. Instead of leaving that wide open like that. Yeah. But I feel like, there's a well-rounded sense of the whole picture for you. And it seems like you might be in no man's land. When I see the 10s, I see someone that is in fluctuation. It's really hard for you to make a decision about maybe things in the past that you started. Should you finish it? Should you keep going? Should you keep your relationships? Should you cut people off? Who stays? Who goes? And the only way to get in touch with that is to really spend time alone in nature, and like I was saying at the beginning, slow down. Things may be super dramatic right now, but it's going to be up to you, Taurus, to slow down. Calm everything down within yourself. Take some time apart. Stop taking things personally. Okay. Okay. All right, so the first card is Counselor. And this is your 5th chakra that it's talking about. There may be some issues within you that you need to speak, to have some outside help about. Okay? That'll definitely help you focus on yourself. And it could be a friend. And this card can also just be about what I was just saying, meditation. Spending time with your angels and guides. And it's also saying that you need to have some fun, some playfulness in your life. The issues you may be dealing with may be super emotionally draining. So it's really important for you to slow down and laugh at yourself a little bit. Get in touch with your inner child and listen to your body. Get connected to the earth. Connect with spirit.